I will show young people how terrible the Saiyans can be.
What is up, everybody? It is the one, the only, the Nappa. How is everybody doing? This is NappaYT / Saiyan Elite, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to the first episode of the SaiyaCast. Now, this is a different type of video than I usually do. This is where I get some amazing content creators, some character channels, some DBZ YouTubers. I get the pleasure to sit down with them and interview them. So I basically talk to the person behind the iconic voices that we love so much. And I couldn't ask for a better first guest. A close friend of mine, somebody who's really helped me out here on YouTube, a man who has been extremely successful, a man of many names, my friend Goku Black, otherwise known as Koy. How are you doing, Koy? Welcome to the SaiyaCast.
Greetings, mortals. It's your boy Koy here, and oh, stop, you'll make me blush. Jeez.
No, seriously, it is so great to have you here. When I was thinking about getting this series off the ground, you were the first person I contacted, and you were very willing to do it, which made me very happy. So, are you ready to get into this?
Absolutely. Let's get started.
All right. Okay. Question number 1, Koy, and these questions aren't going to be in any particular order. How long have you been interested in voice acting?
Oh, geez. Voice acting, let's see, because ever since I was like 10 years old, I've like been into acting, but when I specifically voice acting itself, I'd say around 2010 comes to mind.
Wow. Okay, so that's been almost a decade.
Right. Yeah, I had a prior channel before the Rose one. I was doing little voice acting bits here and there and stuff, but nothing really took off until I tried the whole character channel trend. Honestly, I didn't expect it to take off like it did.
Okay, so that leads us into our second question. What inspired you to create your YouTube channel, the current one you have right now?
That would just be the other character channels I saw. Like, I just saw this trend starting to happen where people were doing these things like, you know, Lord Frieza, Prince Vegeta, Bulma Bunny, Gur. Like, I know he doesn't do Goku anymore, but back then he did. And his Stewie, like, that was another thing. And, you know, just all these character channels started popping up and stuff. And, you know, eventually I got into my head. I was like, well, you know, I can do voices and stuff. I could give this a shot. Like, what the heck? What do I got to lose? I ain't going nowhere. I was just a janitor at the time, so I figured I'd give it a shot and then started up. And then before I know it, boom.
That's crazy. And like, there are only a few people who have that sort of takeoff, that sort of success. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how fast you've grown, how fast you've accumulated this awesome fan base. And I guess as you were looking at the character channels, you were seeing, you know, what they were doing, and you were kind of developing your own character channel. Why Rose Goku Black? Because I mean, this was a pretty new character at the time, if I'm not mistaken, when you first started. Like, we didn't even have all the details on what his voice was going to sound like, what his character was going to be like.
Right. Yeah, so about that, it actually took me a while to deliberate which character I wanted to focus on when I started, but because at first I was actually planning on doing a Perfect Cell channel, but I saw there was a number of those, and you know, then I saw Devil Artemis, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I've just came over on that.
Right,
so,
right.
So then, what I decided then was I was like, I noticed there were some Goku Black channels, but I noticed that none of them really focused on like the Rose voice. What I mean by that was like the DLC for Xenoverse 2 had just come out, and you know, the Rose, like Goku Rose Black.
The original way Sean Schimmel did it, where he kind of did the British
right, a more
mustache twirling villain kind of thing, and then he kind of switched that over when the official English dub came out. But I really like how you kind of stuck with that and made it your own.
Yeah, and you know, because I am, you know, it's about time, Trunks. You've been running around making a mess of things long enough. Now I'm going to choke the life from you. You know, it's not like I can't do that, but funny enough, like when I have asked about it on my channel, people are like, nah, stick with what you got. Like, which is like, all right, because I guess once you've grown with or like had something long enough, it's like, just stick with it.
I think it's because, and you know, forgive me, I might be wrong about this, but I think it's just because your voice is so iconic. It's got that kind of like Sean Schemmel, Christopher Sabat kind of uniqueness to it, where your voice is just very easy to pick out, and it's a very entertaining voice. It's a very comical voice. It makes me laugh every time I hear it. So yeah, I think that was a good direction. You know, not trying to directly emulate what somebody else is doing, but putting your own spin on it.
Right. Which is kind of funny because I think all the character channels, like initially they start off trying to emulate, but like as they grow and stuff, they eventually delve off into their own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Lord Frieza, you know.
Right.
Like there's plenty of things like the KOK thing, that was never a Frieza thing, or the
or like
you know.
or like Prince Vegeta with the vitamin D. I mean, that was something he totally
Right.
came up with, and it became one of his trademarks, especially when he was, you know, first growing.
Or hell, you with the King Vegeta, Butete.
Butete, or the greetings, peasants.
Yeah, like each of these channels have just you know, they started off as like an emulation, but as they grew into their own thing. Like they each grow into their own thing. And like my channel, like you know, I've grown beyond just Goku Black. I've started to try to do other characters and stuff, try to expand on the voices I can do.
Right. And I think that's something we'll get into later, because I think that's a trend that's happening with character channels where a lot of them are trying to move into being more than just one character. And this is from the bottom channels to, you know, the most popular channels in the community. But okay, next question. When you were first starting, was it overwhelming at first? And like, what kind of help did you have along the way? Because starting a YouTube channel, at least for me, because I came from almost no technical experience in video editing, creating videos, formatting a channel. What were some of those hurdles you had to get over?
Yeah, like, because at first, like, what am I saying at first? I still have no idea what the heck I'm doing.
Well, more than you did at first, I would say.
Well, yeah, I've definitely learned a few tricks since then. Even then, though, like, you know, I don't exactly have an exact formula. I just kind of do or make whatever I think is going to work and just hope for the best. And most of the time, it manages to work out nicely well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's that kind of uniqueness that keeps character channels relevant. So, I mean, obviously, there are the reactions and the gameplays, but there's those little things in between that I think keep the subscribers on their toes and keep them coming back. But did you ever expect to be as, I'm pretty sure every YouTuber has the same answer to this, but did you ever expect to be as successful as you are now? I mean, you're at like 68,000 subs, closing on 69. Ooh, good number.
Giggity.
But did you ever expect to be this successful when you started?
Not even remotely. I had no idea I would get this far. I thought I'd be lucky enough if I reached like 1,000 subs, but then all of a sudden this happens. And actually, I could actually tell you the story of just when things like really, like when things started to skyrocket.
I would love to hear that, because I don't think I've ever heard that full story, and I'm sure the viewers would love to hear it as well.
Yeah, how when when I first started the channel, it was a decent following and stuff, decent growth rate and all. But I think when things started really taking off is I was a fan of Lord Frieza at the time, or Divine Malzar as he goes by now. I remember I went to one of his Twitch streams and I just decided to go for it and ask him and say, "Hey, is it cool if we post our own channel links on your Twitch chat?" And he was just like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." So I do that, and then people started commenting in his Twitch stream like, "Hey, that's actually really good." So then Mark himself got interested and said, "Hey, send me a link to your channel on my Twitter." And I did. He liked that post, and that's what got Gur and CL's attention. They start checking out my channel, and then Gur comments on my channel saying like, "Hey, this is actually really good. Do you want to collab sometime?" Bear in mind, like, you know, I hadn't met them at the time. Like, I was just a fan and stuff. So to have Gur, someone I was a fan of, contacting me, I was like, wait, what?
Yep. It's that kind of nirvana when somebody contacts you about doing a video and you're like, "Oh my God." Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, yeah, I got a hold of him on Skype, started talking to him and CL. We hit it off pretty quickly. And out of the blue, he just decides, I'm going to give you a shout out video.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
oh, you don't have to do that. But then he's like, no, I'm going to do it. He does a shout out video for me. And all of a sudden I'm shooting past the thousands and I'm like, wait, what?
That's so cool. That is so cool. Because it's not like you begged for it or like demanded a shout out or did what I see some people doing where they're like, hey, I need a shout out. Give me a shout out, please. Let's do a collab. Come on, collab. I mean, you just kind of let it happen naturally.
Right. And, that's something I've tried to do, too, is like I try to give out shout outs to people I think. Like I've shouted you out a couple times because I think you deserve them.
Very appreciated, by the way.
Yeah. You never once asked me for a shout out. Like, guys, here's the thing. Anyone I've ever shouted out, they never once asked me to shout them out. I shouted them out because I wanted to, because I felt they earned it and I felt they deserved it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the key, deserving the shout out rather than demanding it.
Also, it helps like when you know the person, because it's like, why would I shout out someone I don't even know?
Right. And we're going to get into that at the end about, talking about like what do you do as a fan if you want to grow your own channel? But a question I want to ask you next is, what is your favorite part about, number one, being a YouTuber in general, and then number two, specifically being a DBZ character channel? What makes that kind of channel special? What do you really love about it?
Oh, I don't love it at all. I absolutely hate it. I'm just doing this for the money. You all suck.
Me too, bro.
No, but seriously, I love having a YouTube channel. I love getting to do this for a living. I'm living in my own place now because of this. Like, dude, I never thought I'd get this far.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Like, and it's just really fun to do. I get to do what I love doing, just playing games, doing voices. I'm doing what I love and I get to do it for a living. Like, I consider myself extremely blessed, extremely lucky, and just all around fortunate. And plus of all the awesome friends like you I get to make.
Well, oh man, my heart is melting, man. Thank you so much. And like, it's so cool that, as much as we complain about YouTube and, the glitches and the deleted channels and all that stuff, it is really cool that we get this opportunity to make this living and communicate with these people, through this site. And I think that's something we'll always owe YouTube. Not saying
despite it.
Yeah. Not saying I excuse what they've done before, but
right.
Yeah, it is a really cool opportunity.
YouTube might have fallen a long ways from what it used to be, but even at its worst, it's still providing for us in ways. And even then, that's the other thing I like about all these friends we make, because we try to back each other up and help each other out when YouTube pulls its shenanigans.
Right. No, you're exactly right. Awesome. Okay, so this question I'm really excited for, because I bet there's a really cool story behind it. How did you form your specific rendition of Rose Goku Black? Because like we said before, it's not exactly like Sean Schemmel, and you just have such a unique like take on it. And there's the whole, I'm not a salute thing, and there's just all these memes associated with your character that you made, and it's like you've made your own. I mean, you are Rose Goku Black, but you're also a totally different entity. So, like, how did you come up with this rendition of, this super high-pitched British persnickety? I mean, how did you mold that?
Well, as I said before, it did, like, at first it was heavily inspired by Sean Schemmel's take of Goku Black from Xenoverse 2. Very British and stuff. But, as I went along the road and as I went down and stuff, I thought it would be funnier if, like, I would have him be a bit more overactive with stuff. Like, I remember, I think one of my first examples is when I had him react to Smile HD. I thought it'd be more funny to have him react in like a horrified fashion, seeing these innocent ponies, not humans or mortals, just ponies getting maimed and stuff, just going like, ah!
I remember that video. Oh man, that was back in the old days before I had like reaction art. So you just use a still like PNG image and you make a background and you just put the YouTube video right there. And it looked kind of weird and awkward, but it's all you had because you were going off of like iMovie or Windows Movie Maker. Oh man.
Right, just using what you had.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, as for what started the whole slut thing.
Oh yeah, that's a story. That is a story.
Now, bear in mind, I can't remember the specific details. I just remember during one video, I was having Rose Goku Black sort of like going like, oh, what a beautiful woman. Like, you know, kind of womanizing and such. Just thought I'd add that trait to his character and stuff, given that like he had a mortal body, so he wasn't as above the mortals anymore.
Right.
Because he was given natural mortal instincts and such. You know,
Yeah.
and Zamasu, like, you know, Zamasu having zero sexual experience and stuff assumes like any remote sexual experience is like, oh my god, you slut. Then it's like, I am not a slut. And ever since that first shriek,
oh, that just took off. And it's like every one of your videos, like I read your comments, and it's like all people trying to get a rise out of you by calling you a slut, and it's hilarious.
You know what it is? Are you familiar with the BAT credit card with Nostalgia Critic?
Oh, yep. A BAT
It's basically
credit card.
It's basically my BAT credit card.
Oh man, it's amazing. I would
it's
say
just a joke you didn't think was gonna go anywhere, but to this day, people won't let it go.
Oh, I would say it's superior to the BAT credit card. That meme is just.
Oh, that is very flattering.
Oh man, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
As for the salute thing, I blame Chunny for that, because in VR chat, people would always call me a slut, but if Chunny was ever around, he would always run up to them as Broly and say like, no, it's pronounced salute.
Oh, and then the other thing about Chunny, speaking of ChunChasku, I'll post a link to his channel in the description below. He's great. The other thing is the way he says Kakarot gets me every time. Do you notice
I love
that?
Kakarot.
I just laugh when I think about him. Just, you know, he'll just start running around and going Kakarot. Oh, it's awesome.
He is pretty hilarious with his Broly. But Chunny kept at it, and eventually he got it to stick.
Oh man,
he made it very clear that was his mission. Like anytime he was just like, I will make that a thing. I will make salute a thing. Like he was determined.
Dude,
congratulations, Chunny. It's a thing.
Congratulations, ChunChasku. Shout out to him, by the way. He's awesome.
Yes, he is.
Okay, so moving on from the salute, why specifically have you chosen to be a part of the DBZ community? Because, you know, people say that the DBZ community can be toxic sometimes. It can be full of bad eggs. But what do you think about the DBZ community? Why are you here is basically what I'm asking.
Well, I'd argue, my argument against that is the DBZ fan base is no different than any other fan base. Everyone always says, oh, this fan base is awful. This face is awful. Sonic the Hedgehog fan base or Star Wars. My argument is these fan bases are fine. There's just a small minority of people who can be very toxic and very negative. And they're a small minority. I know it doesn't feel like it because they're a very loud minority. They're always constantly out there trying to get attention and try to get noticed. But that's the thing. They are much fewer than you think.
Right.
And if you don't focus on them or give them any attention, they really become insufficient and inconsequential.
Yep. They're just very loud is the thing. And I've noticed that as well.
It's a minority, just a loud one.
Yeah.
Once you learn to ignore them, though, any fan base becomes much more tolerable.
And overall, I would say like 90% of the Dragon Ball fans are genuinely good people. I mean, they're just fun. They're looking for, simple entertainment. And overall, they're good people. But yeah, that loud minority can kind of turn a lot of folks off.
Yeah, completely understandable. You just got to learn to try to ignore the loud minority, because it might be loud, but it is just a minority.
Right, exactly. Okay, awesome.
As for why Dragon Ball in particular, it was just the trend I was seeing happening, it was Dragon Ball characters getting channels and such, but also I just really love Dragon Ball. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of GT, don't hold that against me, but
I'm not either.
And Super was about, and Super reignited the passion I had for Dragon Ball.
I think you're exactly right, because I was starting
especially with the Goku Black arc. That's what really kicked things off for me.
Yeah. I mean, my passion in Dragon Ball was starting to die out as well, but then Super came out and kind of did the same thing for me as it did for you, kind of rejuvenated it. Which, speaking of shows and characters, if you could be in one show, play one character, and perform alongside one voice actor, what would they be?
Okay, that's okay, so that's three things. Okay. So if I could be in one show, wait, be one show and be one character in that show, or is the character a separate thing?
Let's make them separate things.
Okay, so if I could be in any one show, I know I'm gonna get slut comments for this, but I think Ruby, because that I find that a really fun show, and
Of course you picked that.
and all the females in that show are pretty hot. Don't judge.
You sloot.
I am not a salute.
Oh,
I'm a connoisseur.
Okay, what about the character?
Spider-Man actually comes to mind. He's actually always been one of my favorite superheroes.
Oh, really? Wow, that's okay. I did not expect that, but that's really cool.
Yeah, I've always loved Spider-Man. He's always been my number one favorite superhero. He's always been the most relatable, I think. It also helps he's kind of funny. Like, he's one of the most relatable ones, and yet he's also one of the most OP ones. Like, because he's kicked the Avengers' asses on plenty of occasions.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not all at once, but he still has done plenty of ass whooping.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So what voice actor would you perform alongside then?
Chris Sabat.
Chris Sabat. Okay. That one makes sense to me.
Yeah, I actually got the honor of meeting Chris Sabat and Sean Schimmel 2017 at the Salt Lake Comic Convention. Very nice dudes. It was really fun meeting them.
Oh, you met them? Holy crap. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was, but even got a picture with them, and yeah, it was really cool.
Oh my goodness. So they're nice guys, you're saying?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, but no, I've heard they're nice guys as well. I follow them both on Twitter, and they're funny. Chris Sabat especially is just hilarious.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so this is going to be a little bit of a deeper one. Do you think the DBZ / character channel community, as it stands right now, is moving in the right direction, or do you think there are some definite improvements that need to be made? Because I know there's been drama in the past, which we won't get into, but overall, how do you see the state of this community as one of its biggest members?
All right. Well, I'm not sure if I'd say I'm one of its biggest members, but thanks.
Oh, you're up there. You're definitely up there.
Honestly, as of late, there hasn't really been any problems. There hasn't been any drama between anyone, and that's the way I'd like to keep it. And something I would like to address is okay, a lot of the drama in the past has been between two certain individuals. Some of you might know who they are. And a lot of people felt like they had to take sides. Like, I remember seeing on Twitter once, because I was friends with this one dude who was friends with this other dude who was having a feud with this other guy. Okay, I'm hoping that's not too confusing, but...
No, we're getting you. We're following you.
He was like, wait, if you're friends with them, whose side am I supposed to pick? Guys, there are no sides. Just because two YouTubers don't like each other does not mean you don't have to dislike either one. If you enjoy both content, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to take sides, guys. We're entertainers. We're not politics.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep it that way.
Yep. No, you're exactly right. And you make such a good point, because, when these bigger YouTubers, and there have been a lot of feuds. I'm not saying it's just two people.
Right, of course. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, don't get pulled into the feuds. Don't get involved with it. I admittedly have gotten involved a couple times, and I regret it later on because it didn't really accomplish anything. The best thing to do is just stay out of it.
Right.
But that it's not like the people who go into these feuds could try to make an effort to make it less public, because a lot of them try to post it on social media or YouTube or something. And it's like, why would you do that? This is between you guys. Don't drag everyone else into your mess.
Right. Because at the end of the day, another reason why not to get involved is it's not really your business.
Right. And I've never understood why, if someone has an issue with someone, they're like, I'm going to make a YouTube on video attacking them, because that'll end well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, if a friend gets attacked, you obviously want to defend them. And I'm not saying you can't do that, but, approach it in a civil way. Debunk what the person is saying rather than attacking the person directly. I mean, I can think of a really good example of it. I won't name it because I don't want to bring up this specific controversy, but There was a certain YouTuber who made a kind of a debunking video to another YouTuber in defense of another YouTuber, as confusing as that sounds. And it was just excellently done. Like, he refuted all the points without directly attacking, and he made it very crisp and clear, and didn't, try to get his fan base to vote for one side. It was just really impressive. And I think that's how drama needs to be handled if it's going to go public.
Not that I think, for the most part, I just don't think drama should go public.
Exactly,
I think it should
exactly. I'm just saying, in the worst case scenario, if it has to, handle it civilly. But
right.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, obviously,
but in any case,
yeah. I think the community is still going in a pretty good direction.
Yeah. So far, so good. I think that is the best way to.
Yeah. Okay. So this leads into a really good following question, and this one's probably even a bigger question. What defines, in your eyes, a great YouTuber? Maybe more specifically, a great DBZ YouTuber. Is it subs? Is it the quality of the videos? Is it views? Is it the personality? What defines, a great YouTuber?
Okay, that is getting all deep on me, man.
Mm-hmm. You bet I am. Nappa's bringing the hate.
God damn it, Nappa. A great YouTuber is one, someone who is able to provide quality content, but I want them to be a good person as well. I want them to be someone who can uplift other people. Not someone who's just using the channel to stroke their own ego, but someone who's willing to use their position to help other people who aren't as fortunate as them or as lucky as them. Mm-hmm. Or, just someone who's kind and nice in general. Just someone who's fun to be around. Someone who's fun to watch.
Yeah. No, you make
it's not as complex as people think it is.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I think you make excellent points. I mean, it's pretty simple at the end of the day. Don't be a douchebag and make quality stuff. I mean, I know the quality stuff is actually harder than the not being a douchebag part, because you got to buy the the right microphone and the equipment, and have to learn how to edit videos. But I mean, being a nice person on the internet isn't as hard as people make it sound.
Seriously, you have no idea how hard it is to. I have one rule: don't be a dick. Why do so many of you have trouble following that rule? I'm only kidding, though. For the most part, most fans I've interacted with have been pretty nice people. So.
Yeah, no, I've known far more nice people than I've known douchebags on the internet. So most people get it. It's just that, again, it's that small minority that doesn't.
Something else I do want to draw attention to. Even if you don't have the best tech available to you, I don't think that matters. I think as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, the audience themselves can't help but enjoy themselves with you, because that's the thing. If an actor is enjoying themselves, you can tell. A good example is Ian McDiarmid as the Emperor from Star Wars. You watch that man and you can tell he's having a good time.
Yep.
And when you're watching that man just having a ball and enjoying himself, you can't help but yourself enjoy it with him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as far as voice actors, like, another great example is like Jason Douglas, who voices Beerus. You can tell every time he voices Beerus, he's just having a blast with his character.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, that is the one trait above all. Like, you don't necessarily have to have the best tech. Just enjoy what you're doing. Have a ball with it, and I think your audience won't be able to help but enjoy it as well.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great point. I mean, quality isn't everything. Of course. You want some quality, because
it helps, but
yeah. If your audio isn't discernible, that's a bit problematic. But no, I think enjoying it is the most important part. So I think you answered that really well. So moving on. This is kind of I saved all the deep ones for the end. Besides, no. Where do you want your YouTube channel to be in 1 year? And 5 years, and maybe yourself as a person. Where do you want to be?
That is a pretty good one, man. Because the funny thing is, I'm pretty content in life right now. Like, I consider myself lucky to be where I am. But I suppose a year from now, maybe 100K subs if I'm lucky.
I think
that'd be
you can
pretty
reach
nice.
that in a year. I think you'll well surpass that in a year.
Thanks. I wouldn't mind meeting more people in the community and stuff. I've yet to meet, let's see. They go by like Sassy Videl or Savage 17. I've seen their stuff. I like what I've seen. I wouldn't mind meeting them.
Yeah,
just to name a couple.
I'm actually a big fan of Savage 17. His just as a person, he seems like a real straight shooter. I mean, he gives it as it is, which I can really respect. And his content is, is really good also.
Yeah, like there are plenty of other content creators I would love to meet, and maybe someday,
Yeah, no, exactly. There are a lot of content creators I have yet to meet, and I still want to meet. But it's all about the patience thing, what we talked about earlier, right? Not pushing yourself on somebody and waiting for that relationship to grow as opposed to trying to force it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you don't try to force yourselves onto other people. Like, okay, and don't anybody take that out of weird context or nothing.
Yeah, somebody's going to edit out that audio line. You just know it. And it's going to be like, Rose Goku Black exposed, man. And it's going to be all in all caps. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'll like it.
If that happens, I'm blaming you.
It's okay. What's YouTube going to do? Take down my channel again?
Don't tempt them.
Oh, man. Okay, so besides your YouTube channel, Koy, what do you like to do? I mean, you don't do only YouTube, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, of course. I do enjoy gaming, gaming in general. Like, I've taken a fondness to streaming. That's pretty fun. But outside of that, I like taking my bike around town. That's been pretty nice. Ever since I moved here, it's just been kind of nice biking everywhere I need to go, especially since everything's within reasonable distance.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't just been using your voice for Rose Goku Black. I've been seeing those pictures on Twitter of that cosplay outfit. That thing looks good on you, man. You're looking suave.
Thank you. That was really fun. Yeah, the Salt Lake Comic-Con FanX has been a tradition for about 5 years now with me and my buddies.
Yeah, I'll post a link to that video in the description because I did think it was an entertaining video. There were some great cosplay outfits in there, like I think like a bunch of Mandalorians walked by you from Star Wars, and that was some good stuff there.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. Just about any con is always pretty fun. Like far as I'm aware, is the one I've been to.
Yeah, I haven't been to many cons, but that's just because of where I live. But okay. So I think we have like 5 questions left here. We're doing awesome. You are doing great. Again, thank you for being here.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so speaking of kind of outside stuff, what other projects are you involved in that people can go and see and watch, besides just what's on your YouTube channel? I mean, because I know you've been voice acting for a long time, and even with this YouTube channel, you've been involved in other projects, even some abridged work I've heard.
Ah, okay, I see what you're getting at. All right, shameless advertising.
Advertising. Yeah.
For those of you wondering, me and Nappa himself here has been involved in a group project known as Dragon Ball Stupor. We've got the first episode out on the channel. Second episode is in the works, and it should be out within the next couple of weeks, I'm hoping.
Yeah,
it kind of depends.
I mean, the voices are all, I think all the scripting is done, all the recording is done, and I think we're just in the editing phase at this point.
I think so. I can't make any guarantees on that, but
yeah, and it's a great episode. It's going to be excellent.
I am looking forward to seeing the whole thing in completion.
But besides that, what other stuff are you involved in?
All right. I'm in this other dub called The Smash King. It's like it's not exact. Well, okay, it is a parody series based off Smash Brothers, but the way they do it is a very anime-esque episodic type deal. Like it kind of feels like its own anime, really. Like with its own episodes and story arcs and character development and stuff.
Okay.
And the other one I'm involved in is called the Dissidia Project, a parody based off the Final Fantasy Dissidia games.
Okay.
The prominent character there is Gilgamesh, the swordsman. Kind of funny, though, because it's one of those voices where it sounds nothing like the actual character. Because I do it like this. Hello, I am Gilgamesh.
What? Oh, man. Just when I thought your Rose Goku Black voice was the silliest thing you could do.
Oh no, you don't know the depths of the silliness of which I can achieve.
You will pay the price for your lack of vision. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And these were, I guess, for the people wondering out there, like, how do I get involved in this stuff? Like, how do I get in these projects? Were these all from like Casting Call Club or?
Okay, the Smash King and the Dissidia project, those were both things I auditioned for.
Mm-hmm.
I auditioned for both of those. I just kept watching them, and eventually I saw videos on them that said, "Hey, we're holding auditions." I just followed their instructions and auditioned accordingly. Mm-hmm. As for Dragon Ball Stupor, that was an idea I came up with my buddies, Gur and such, and we just decided to grab who we thought was good, pulled you in, and just formed this group and just started going at it, because why not?
Right. And I'm still incredibly excited about where that's going to go.
Trust me, you and me both. And for anyone out there who wants to try to get into the character channel business, don't hesitate. Just go for it. If you think you're really good at any particular voice, just start it off. Show people what you got and just keep at it. But most of all, just enjoy what you're doing. Don't do what you're doing just because you want to get ad revenue or famous or anything like that. Just do it because it's what you enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, you're exactly right. And we're gonna get into a little bit deeper of that kind of answer at the end. But my next question is, for those who are fans out there, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of fans who are subscribed to me that are also subscribed to Rose Goku Black, and we might have some kind of system where we let Rose Goku Black's fans know about this as well. For those out there who want to meet you, talk to you, possibly, become your friend as I have, what do they do? Because obviously it's not to spam Discord call you or, type out 13 YouTube comments saying hi. What are the good ways people can meet you, and what are some of the bad ways?
Okay, best start get the bad out of the way. One of the bad things is just, look, it's nothing personal, guys, but if you try to add me on something like Discord or something, and I have no idea who you are, like, there's no real reason for me to add you, because it's like, I don't know you. Mm-hmm. That's nothing personal or anything. It's just, if I were to add every single person who tried to add me and I didn't know them, that would just be way too much. I get overwhelmed easily as it is.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be getting DMs all day. It'd be insane. And it's not like we're doing, you especially, because, I mean, you get a lot more of that probably than I do. But it's not trying to be mean or trying to be cruel. It's just trying to manage and maintain security and protect ourselves and surround ourselves with people we can trust.
All right, keep in mind, guys, we're only human and we can only handle so much.
Right. No, you are exactly right. But what are some of the good ways people can meet you?
One thing, mutual friends, like, great example, Nappa Abridged is the one who actually introduced me to Nappa Saiyan Elite here, through VR chat, funny enough. That's how we first met. He was doing his Raditz voice in the time. I was really impressed and really entertained by his Raditz, and kind of just went off from that.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun in the old VR chat days. I hope that game has a resurgence, because, boy, those were good days.
I actually think it might, because I've noticed that Mark himself has been on VR chat quite a bit more often.
Yeah, I'm hoping one of these nights I'll be able to hop on and see if anybody else is playing. But okay, moving on, because we got to pound out these last few questions. What is your advice to all the aspiring YouTubers out there? I mean, you kind of covered this earlier, but for all those people that, they're sitting at like less than 100 subscribers, or they're even just starting, what do they do?
Don't let those numbers discourage you. If you're enjoying what you're doing and you find even if one person, if you only have one fan, let that encourage you, because one fan eventually will become two. Two fans eventually becomes three, and that number, however slowly it might be, is going to grow if you just keep at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're constantly improving as well. You're not just doing the same thing over and over.
That too. Practice makes perfect. Another thing, don't focus on the negative. Yes, you're going to get negative comments, but they're only going to affect you if you let them.
Yeah. And you might even have bad experiences, with other YouTubers. You might catch them on an off day, or they might be busy at the moment, and maybe they don't give you the attention that, you wanted. Don't let that discourage you either, because, that person probably didn't mean to come off the way they did. So yeah, just don't let what other people say or think define how your channel should go. Because at the end of the day, it's your channel, not theirs.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. So this is kind of the opposite. If there is one thing that you can warn future character channels about, what is it?
If you do end up becoming really successful, don't let it go to your head. Don't ever let yourself start thinking I'm better than normal people or something like that, because you yourself are still a person. Just because you're successful just because you have a successful YouTube career does not mean you're above other people.
Right.
Because I have seen that happen to people, where they will just get so wrapped up in their fame and stuff, they just change who they are and just think they can do whatever they want because, of their success. Don't let that happen to you. Always keep yourself humble. That's what I try to do.
Yeah, and that's not only just good YouTube advice, that's good life advice in general. But I would completely agree with you. Don't let the fame go to your head. Don't let the numbers dictate how you are going to treat people. So I think that's an awesome answer. Okay, 2 more questions. What, as YouTubers and character channels, this is kind of directed at us and of course, the people we associate with, what is our most important duty to our fans? Because I see a lot of YouTubers talking about how, well, it's my channel and I can do what I want with it, and, I'm going to take it in this direction because I choose to. But what is our duty to the people who are watching us? Because at the end of the day, they're the people who make the channel what it is.
I'd like to think it's to entertain and to inspire. If we can entertain our fans, good. If we can inspire them to do their own, to show off their own talents, or hell, inspire them to be good people because of something nice we did, even better.
Yeah, great advice. You are just a wellspring of good advice, my friend.
I'm just having one of my good days. Trust me. Any other day, I'd be like, derp.
I don't know. Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, last
24.
Last question for you, and then we'll let you go. How do you become a part of this community that has been built by people like you, to a much smaller degree, people like myself? How do people become a part of this community?
Well, by being an active part in it and being a positive part in it. Being a positive, cheery, influential person can go a long ways. Great example, Twitter, social media, Twitter, a lot of us are on. And, if you keep interacting with us enough in a positive way, eventually people are going to take notice of you. And
Right.
if you've been nothing but positive, they're going to think nothing but positive of you.
Yeah.
Another good way is, keep going at it at your channel. And if you have a really good talent, people are going to take notice.
That's exactly right. I would point out that being positive and sucking up to someone to get attention are 2 very different things, and you certainly want to avoid the latter.
Right. Yeah, no sucking up. Sucking off, on the other hand.
Oh.
Rosé, stop. Oh, man.
Oh, and that is the perfect line to end this first episode on. I want to thank you all who stuck all the way to the end of the first episode of the SaiyaCast, with your host, myself, NappaYT / the Saiyan Elite, and our first guest, Rosé Goku Black, otherwise known as Rosé and Koy, otherwise known as just my friend, Koy McLeod. Thank you so much for being here. Your answers have been so enlightening. And I think, of all the influences in this community right now, I would dare say that you are one of the most positive.
That is very nice of you, man. Thank you for having me on. I'm actually really happy I got to do this. This was actually really fun, and I'm looking forward to see who you interview next and how it goes, man. Again, thank you. I'm honored to have been your first guest.
Well, thank you. It has been an honor, certainly. But before we go, my friend, is there anything you would like to say to those watching?
Okay, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it and subscribe to the channel for more content, and click on the link below to get to my channel, because that's where the real shit is at.
Oh, and be sure to call Rose a slut while you're at it in the comments below. Do it!
I am not a slut!
All right, bye!